Greetings gastronauts, this is KeefCooks, I'm Keef, and today I'm going to do a Tex-Mex special, or maybe it's just Mexican, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to make shredded chicken tacos, and I'm going to make flour tortillas and Pico De Gallo. This was requested by Joyce Goggins a few years ago and also seconded by Kato. So yeah, it took me a while to get around to it, as these things tend to do, but here we are. And a shout out to Kev and his buddies who spotted us at the Railway Inn on the Leeds-Liverpool Canal. Anyway, Kev, if you want to get in touch about that thing we spoke about, you can email info@KeefCooks.com. Yeah, tacos, they seem to be a bit of almost a religion in the States. I've got Facebook friends who just seem to eat nothing but tacos, but not so much here in sunny UK. I don't know why, because they're really easy and they're really wonderful. If you enjoy this video, give it a like, share, subscribe, etc. And let's get on with it. I'm going to start off by prepping the chicken because that needs to marinate for at least half an hour or longer if you can manage it. So I've got some chicken thighs. These happen to have skin on and bone in. Really you want boneless, skinless, but this is what I had, and that's okay because I'll use the bones and skin in stock and it'll be wonderful. A couple of tablespoons of EVU, extra virgin olive oil, a couple of cloves of garlic, a teaspoon of sea salt, half teaspoon of ground black pepper, a teaspoon of ground cumin, and a tablespoon of smoked paprika, pimenton de la vera. This is the good stuff, it's really good. I'll put a link down below so you can get that online. And a teaspoon of ground coriander. Okay, I need to sort these chicken thighs out. Deboning a chicken leg is quite easy. You just want to find the bone, cut down the sides, and then get your little knife in underneath and cut to the end. And it's okay if you leave a bit of meat on there because that'll help the stock. Alright, there we are, there's our 5 chicken thighs. I'm going to wash my hands and wash the chopping board and the knife and anything that's been in contact with raw chicken. Now I just need to crush and chop my garlic. You don't really need to peel it because it's just going in the marinade. It won't end up in the finished dish. We just need to mix all the ingredients for the marinade. So we'll start with the oil and the smoked paprika, a teaspoon of ground coriander, ground cumin, the garlic, a teaspoon of salt, and half teaspoon of ground black pepper. And juice and zest of 1 lime. Give that a quick mix, then add the chicken, just make sure it's coated all over. Then pop that in the fridge to marinate for as long as you can, but at least half an hour. And maybe give it a stir every now and again to make sure everything is still coated in all this good stuff. Now I'm going to make the tortillas. I'm doing soft flour tortillas because, well, first of all, I'm making my own. I could easily buy the ready-made crunchy yellow corn ones, but I actually prefer the soft tortillas. Ingredients: I've got 250 grams of plain white all-purpose flour, 50 grams of lard chopped into small pieces, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 175 ml of water, So I mix the baking powder and the salt into the flour, then add the lard and rub it in with your fingertips till you get a mix that looks like coarse sand. Really, for tortillas, it should be lard. Okay, there's the crumbs. Now I'm going to add the water, well, half the water to start with, get that stirred in. And some more. And the last bit. So it's all come together as a ball, and what we need to do is divide it into smaller balls. I'm just going to weigh this. Okay, 443. I reckon I can probably make 12 out of that, so I'm going to find a calculating device and get that to do the maths. Amazingly, I haven't got a calculator app on this telephone, so I shall ask Google. Divide 442 by 12.
The answer is approximately 36.833333.
Thank you. We'll call it 37. Alright, 12 little balls of dough, and we'll just cover those with plastic film and just let them hang around till we're ready for them. I'm going to make the Pico De Gallo, so I've got 3 tomatoes, a small onion, chilli, clove of garlic, and the juice of half a lime, because I forgot to get more limes, so yeah. Also some cilantro, coriander. So difference between this and salsa is that salsa is sauce, it's runny. You would want to get juice out of your tomatoes and you'd maybe puree it a little bit. But with Pico De Gallo, you don't do that because you're supposed to be able to eat it with your fingers if you don't mind a bit of mess. Peel and dice your onion. Magic knife. Oh, alright. So we'll put the onions and tomatoes in a bowl, peeling and kind of mincing the garlic. Pop the garlic in the bowl. Now the chilli, as you know, I'm not a fan of chilli heat at all, so I'll scrape out the seeds and chop this finely. And finally we'll chop the coriander. And hurl that into the salad as well. Okay, mixy and a bit of seasoning. Stir it again and then cover it with plastic film and stick it in the fridge until you're ready for it. But actually take it out of the fridge about 20 minutes before you're ready for it. You don't want it too cold. Right, finally, time to do some cooking. Yay! So I'm not going to do all of these now. I'll probably only make 4 tacos because, you know, we don't eat a lot, us old people. So you want a cast iron skillet or other kind of pan, whatever, or a cast iron griddle thingy like what I've got. And you want it stinking hot, and then put your chicken on and give it between 3 and 5 minutes each side. You want a nice char on it. And after that time, check the internal temperature. It should be around about 74 Celsius. It can be a little bit under because we're going to rest it for 5 to 10 minutes, and you know, residual heat will continue cooking it. And when it's rested, this is what we do. 2 forks, bit of, juicy chicken. If you're bored of slipping about like that, put a towel under it. So yeah, basically pulled chicken. I'm going to cook the tortillas. So I'm using this little cast iron frying pan, which I think in Mexico would be called a comal. And I'm also going to cheat. I'm using this ring, which is a perfect fit to stamp out perfectly circular tortillas, because I'm not very good at rolling them perfectly circular. You can also cook them on a griddle or a plancha or a cast iron skillet or a normal frying pan or whatever you like, really. Flour on the worktop, a little ball of dough, squash it flat. And I'm using this, this is actually a chapati roller, which I bought after the last time I made chapatis, because it's ideal for little things like this. Just a little bit bigger. There we go. So just get rid of the excess dough and set that aside. To start cooking them, you want to get your cast iron or whatever thing really, really hot, smoking hot. And then pop a tortilla in, and after a few seconds it'll probably start bubbling up. You only need to cook it for about 30 seconds on each side, so after that just turn it over. If it's still bubbled up, squash it flat with a spatula. Now it's important that we keep them soft and flexible, so the way you can do that is get a plate, get a piece of kitchen paper, splash a bit of water on it and put your tortilla on, and then put another one on top and splash water on that, and when the next tortilla is ready, put that on, and basically building up a sandwich of tortillas and moist kitchen paper. And when you're done, just separate them all out, and if you're having your tacos straight away, they're ready. Otherwise, put them in a Ziploc bag and they should keep in the fridge for a few days, or you can freeze them. Right, assembly time. I don't quite know how I'm going to manage this. I think, you know, if you weren't doing it for a video and beautiful photographs, you would just grab a taco and stuff it with things you like. So maybe some lettuce, definitely some chicken. And the temptation is to completely overstuff it, so try to resist that. Bit of red onion, bit of cheese, bit of sour cream, and a bit of Pico De Gallo. And you know, if you, well, with a hard shell taco it's okay because it'll hold its shape, but with a soft one like this, that is not going to happen. So I've been to places where they have like almost like a toast rack, but designed, you know, to hold tacos, kind of like that. But I haven't got one of those. I could make one, but we haven't got time. And now it's time. I've forgotten the script. And now it's taste test time with Mrs. KeefCooks.
Oh my God.
Hello, Peckle. That's yours. It fell open,
guys.
so you have to
Okay.
thing.
Ooh.
That's a bit of avocado
I
there.
can see it. There we
And
go. Chicken. Oh, this looks beautiful.
stuff.
Mm.
Chicken and stuff, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want cheese.
I've got cheese. Thank you very much.
Oh. Do you want sour cream?
Oh yeah. Definitely. Did you put sour cream on your scone before?
Yes.
Was it
Scone
nice?
from Tesco. Well, you know, you didn't miss a recipe. Was it nice? Well, then put jam on top of it. Yes, it was.
What else to say? It's tacos. It's great. The last taco I saw, yeah, right. was on Grayson Perry's Art Club. It
Made,
was a glitter taco.
made of glitter, yeah. So, okay.
Steak.
It's very nice. Make it. Thanks for watching and see you next time.